Good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammed Sufyan from St. Francis College. Today, I'm going to be presenting a comparative study of some of the most widely used operating systems like Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Android. This presentation is meant to highlight their architecture, usability, security, and performance so that we can better understand where each one excels. So, operating systems form the foundation of all computing experiences. They manage hardware, allocate resources, and provide the environments where applications can run. In this study, I'll compare four key operating systems like Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Android with each other to explore the strengths and weaknesses and best fit and the use cases. Overview of operating systems, how we use the operating systems and how they fit in larger computing ecosystems. At the bottom we have hardware. The operating system sits above it and managing memory, processors, and files, while enabling communications between the applications and hardware. On the top, the user interacts through the interface, making the computing accessible and intuitive. Um, okay. So Windows, yeah. Windows is the most widely used desktop OS globally, mainly due to its user-friendly interface and compatibility. It operates on a hybrid kernel model and offering flexibility and performance. Windows is especially strong in business and consumer environments because of its extensive software and hardware support with most of the devices. macOS. Let's take a closer look to macOS because it's exclusive to Apple devices, which allows seamless integration within the Apple ecosystem. It's based on Darwin, combining BSD Unix and March kernel, which makes it stable and secure. Creative professionals, especially in media, design, and yeah, they prefer macOS for its performance and its polished interface. Linux stands out for being open source and community driven. Its flexibility allows it to run everything from personal laptops to massive servers and embedded systems. IT professionals, developers, and system admins value Linux for its deep configuration options and stability. Different distributions like Ubuntu, Fedora offer unique features for different needs. Android Android dominates the mobile OS market, powering most smartphones and tablets worldwide developed by Google. It's tightly integrated with Google services, and since it's open source, manufacturers can adapt it for their devices, which makes it flexible but also leads in fragmentation and updates. Kernel architecture. Here is a comparison of kernel architecture designs because Windows uses a hybrid kernel balancing modularity and performance. macOS also uses a hybrid kernel XNU it blends the Mac and BSD. Linux uses a monolithic kernel which provides high performance with loadable modules, and Androids, as you can see, it runs on modified Linux kernel which is better for optimizing mobile and battery efficiency. The user interface usability. See, Windows is known for its familiarity and customizable interface with backward compatibility, and macOS it just offers a clean, polished, and consistent user experiences that integrates well with Apple's ecosystem. Android emphasizes like user-friendly, touch-friendly interaction and customizable with widgets, launchers, more features overall. Like each OS adapts usability to its target audience for a specific audience. Okay. Performance and resource management. Okay, here Linux is lightweight and efficient, making it ideal for servers, macOS, and is optimized for Apple. Okay. The hardware it ensures the top performance for creative tasks. Windows provides a balance but is more resource heavy compared to others. Android is designed for mobile devices managing background processes smartly and optimize battery and performance as I said earlier. Now, in terms of security, macOS is obviously leads with its Unix foundation, sandboxing, and built-in tools like gatekeeping and file vault. Linux follows closely with the strong user privileges and community reviewed open source code. Windows integrates BitLocker and Windows Defender, but its popularity makes it bigger target for attacks, and Android uses application sandboxing. But for fragmentation and third-party applications, this is like that's not good for reliability. Application compatibility. Each operating system has its own application strengths. Windows dominates entering the enterprises and gaming, and macOS shines in creative tools like videos, music editing. Linux offers excellent server-side tools like through desktop application compatibility, and everything varies. Android leads in mobile application thanks to the Google Play Store. Now, use case scenarios. Like use case scenario, Windows suits general users for businesses and gamers. macOS is best for creatives and those who are already in Apple ecosystem. Linux is perfect for developers who are system admins, server developments, and Android dominates the mobile world, is also a playground for application developers. Open source versus proprietary models. Like Linux and Androids are open source, allowing community collaboration, transparency, and customization. On the other hand, Windows and macOS are proprietary and offering polished user experiences, centralized control, and official support. Each model has trade-offs, and depending on whether the model is flexible or consistent, it is prioritized. System updates and support. One challenge is system updates. Android often struggles due to manufacturer modification, leading to slower updates. By contrast, Windows and macOS maintain regular centralized updates. Linux depends um, depends on distribution, with some offering rapid updates, and like depending on the manufacturers and distributors, they focus on stability because they vary. Okay, and market share and community. Windows continue to dominate in desktops, no doubt. Android leads the market, mobile market, no doubt. But Linux, it powers much of a server infrastructure worldwide. Chrome OS and smaller systems fill niche spaces, and size and activity of each community directly impacts support, innovation, and ecosystem growth. Like innovation and future trend. Looking ahead, operating systems are moving towards convergence, merging desktop and mobile experiences. Artificial intelligence integration will continue through smart assistants and predictive features. Cloud computing is shifting functions into distributing systems, and security will obviously focus increasingly on biometrics and zero trust frameworks. Challenges and limitations. Every operating system has its own struggles, its own limitations. Like with legacy support and resource heaviness, macOS is tied to Apple's hardware and has a cost. It has a high cost. Linux has a steep learning curve and sometimes struggles with application compatibility. Android suffers from fragmentation, creating uneven update and security landscapes. In conclusion, there's no universal winner. Each operating system is designed for specific audiences and the specific use cases. I would say like the key is aligning the operating system with users' needs, like the audience needs, the hardwares, the skills that they need. By understanding these strengths and weaknesses, we can make informed choices for better performance and productivity. References. These references provide the foundation for analysis. They include comparative studies and technical insights into operating system, performance, security, and usability.